Hi there everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach and welcome to another one of my album reviews. I am going to be taking a look at a soundtrack that was huge when it came out. Monstrous. Had probably one of the biggest hit singles of a certain band's career. Also the reason why I really gave up on a certain band. I'm talking about the Armageddon soundtrack, which kicks off with Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, the song that killed Aerosmith for me. Yep. Nothing. Nope. It's this big, over grandiose, not even an Aerosmith horrible song. Past, just move on. That brings us to Remember Me from Journey, featuring lead vocals by Steve Augeri. Alright, so Remember Me, right away I actually thought that it was Steve Perry. When I heard the vocals, I honestly thought it was Steve Perry singing. The famous Journey, the famous of all the Journey vocalists. And I kind of thought that this was, like, honestly a throwaway track. Maybe something that was off one of those last albums before he took off, or, you know, had been sitting around in the studio forever or something like that. It just kind of felt like a thrown in there kind of song. It's not a bad tune. You know, and if you're a Journey fan, you might enjoy it. It just does nothing for me, really. But Journey never really did much for me. After that, we get into another new song from Aerosmith on here. Now, this one I actually enjoy. And that is What Kind of Love Are You On? I like this. It was a little original. It was different. It was Aerosmith doing music of the time. It is not Aerosmith. Ooh, look at the pretty lights flashing on the... Yeah. Sorry, just that time of day. That's why the lights hit me just that way. I'm not trying to do anything weird or cool or anything like that. It's just the filming time. And that tells you about how interesting What Kind of Love Are You On is. It tells you how much of a lasting impression it has that I'm talking more about the light on the ceiling behind me than I am about that. After that, we get into a collection of songs that are predominantly older songs that are just being put on here because they wanted to fill it out with a bunch of songs that people wanted to hear. ZZ Top's La Grange. I mean, always a good song to throw onto a soundtrack, right? Where does that song ever go wrong? Then you got Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Roll Me Away. Good tune. It was a surprising selection, sort of. I really need to, I think, invest in some Bob Seger. If you're watching this and there's a specific Seger album you want to suggest, put it in the comments. I'd really like to take a look for the right Seger album to start with. I just know greatest hits. Then we got Shawn Colvin, When the Rainbow Comes. That song really didn't leave an impression on me. It was an okay song. Then we got Aerosmith, Sweet Emotion. Great tune. You know, you can understand why they put it on here. Great classic. Then you got John Bon Jovi, not Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi, doing Mr. Big Time. I can see why it was released under John Bon Jovi and not Bon Jovi. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. Then you got Aerosmith, Come Together. Okay, so it's humorous when you think about it because Aerosmith's cover of Come Together is from an Aerosmith was on the Bee Gees' Sgt. Pepper movie soundtrack. That's where that cover of Come Together comes from. So they took a movie from one soundtrack and they put it onto another soundtrack. But Aerosmith's cover of Come Together is fantastic. Whew. Amazing. It really is. I absolutely love it. Always have. So I think on here it's fantastic. Then you go to Patti Smith, Wish I Were You. Good tune. Not anything, once again, that, to me makes the soundtrack really worthwhile. Then we got Our Lady Peace, Starseed. Now, as a Canadian band, it's cool to see them on there. Especially considering Canadian bands, even Our Lady Peace, at this point, they weren't exactly getting huge U.S. play. Like, they were picking up in the U.S. a little bit, but still. And Starseed, that was early Our Lady Peace, so it was kind of really cool that it ended up on this album. Outside of that, I'm not a huge Our Lady Peace fan. Like, they're not bad, but they're okay. Yeah. Then we got Chantal Kreviazuk, Leaving on a Jet Plane. It's not the best version I've ever heard. It's okay. Cute in its own little way. Then we got Theme from Armageddon, composed and performed by Trevor Rabin. Alright. Basically kind of like the background high energy music, I guess. Nothing big deal. Followed by Animal Crackers. And Animal Crackers is I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, mixed in with dialogue between Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck from the movie. Alright, which brings me to the question, the burning question. Did Liv Tyler get the role so they could get all this Aerosmith music, or did they ask for all this Aerosmith music and they said only if Liv Tyler could have the lead role? Now, I like Liv Tyler as an actress. I think she's perfectly adequate at what she does. I know a lot of women hate her, and that's what it is. It's women that hate her. I personally, in the old Aerosmith videos, staying with the whole Aerosmith theme here, in the old Aerosmith videos from the 90s, when you had the one with her and Alicia Silverstone, I personally was an Alicia Silverstone fan. Not to take anything away from Liv Tyler, because Liv Tyler is gorgeous. And as a woman who is, just slightly older than I am, she has really aged beautifully, and she's taken care of herself well, and I'm sure having all that money really helps. But I'm sure she's probably just got a little natural beauty in there, too. I've seen her sister, who is was a plus-size model, I believe, and not really a plus-size model, but I mean, hot as well. So, it's just good genes. Anyways, this album is the reason why you should not just impulsively buy a damn soundtrack. When I bought this, I bought it because I didn't have a lot of the other stuff that was on here. I had all the Aerosmith songs, but I didn't have the two new ones. I really do not like I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I think it's the song that killed Aerosmith. I really, truly do. I think that was it. After that song, it was over for Aerosmith. All the real true blue fans were like, fuck this shit. And, pardon my language, I'm trying to cut down on that. And all the new fans didn't stick around. And the other one, What Kind of Love Are You On? It's a good tune. It didn't hold up. I thought it would have held up a little better, but when I was re-listening to the album, actually just today, I was out listening to it riding my bike, and man, it was there and it was gone. And that's how most of this album feels, except for like the real standout songs, the classics. Yeah, so yuck. If I wouldn't recommend this under any level whatsoever, really. I mean, Unless you are a soundtrack fan or you're a former completionist, I don't know if any of the Aerosmith stuff here is available anywhere else. And even if it was, I mean, I don't know if I'd go out and buy it specifically anywhere else. Um, yeah, just, yeah, no. Alright, so leave me a comment, hit subscribe. That way you get notifications when a new one comes out. Otherwise, peace, love, and take care.